Okay. Welcome, 889 community. My name's Ange. This is a powerful class that's going to build strength in your hamstrings and your tush. I'm going to get you started today in a child's pose. So, at your own time, you'll start to make your way to the back of your mat, letting your big toes touch. Your knees can be slightly wide or right together. You can choose based on what your preference is. And then your torso either falls down in between the thighs or wraps over top of the thighs. Hands can come down onto the mat out in front of you. Just take a moment to settle in. Take a couple of really deep breaths. This can be big, heavy sighs. They can have sound. Let them be whatever you need or might want them to be to start dropping off anything else that's coming your day. So you can more fully drop into where you are, how you are. You'll start taking inhalations and exhalations through the nose, activating a slight constriction in the base of the throat that allows the breath to brush along the base of the throat, creating that much more audible wave-like sound. Texture of the breath starts to get a little thicker. And then when you feel like you're ready, you can sort of tap your fingertips off your mat. Maybe press the toenails into the mat behind you and then lift them. Maybe rock the head a little from shoulder to shoulder, massaging out the space between your eyebrows. Good. And then from there, you'll just slowly start to pull yourself forward into a tabletop position. Draw your knees in underneath of your hips. You can tuck or untuck your toes behind you. It's a personal decision. Neither one's wrong. Inhale and lift the tail, lift the heart, lift the gaze, coming into a cow pose. And then as you exhale, you're going to round the spine. Look all the way back through the thighs, coming into a cat pose. Inhale again forward into a cow. And then you'll exhale again back into a cat. Let's just do that one more time on your own, breathing in. And then breathing out. Good. So you're going to come into a nice neutral tabletop, which I'm demoing right here. Tabletop can get a little lazy and sometimes kind of look like this that I'm doing right here. So as much as possible, I want you to push your hands down into the earth, like you could push your hands down through the earth and lift the chest up away from the mat. There's muscles that sit in behind your belly button. Pull with those so that the belly button lifts up toward the spine and the belly doesn't droop down toward the floor. I like to tuck my left toes under behind me. You can keep them untucked. You're going to start to take the right leg back in space. Now, the hips tend to be pretty lazy, so rather than just the hamstring lifting the leg, they're going to try to turn the leg out and get the outer edge of the hip to lift the leg as well. We're concentrating on hamstrings and tush today, so we're really going to work to turn that right thigh bone down. The right hip crease, as much as possible, should be facing down. Try not to droop into that chest, into those ribs. Start to bend that right knee at about a 90-degree angle and show like the sole of your foot to the ceiling. And then you're just going to pulse right there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My hamstrings start getting mad around 6, 7, 8, 9. Stay. Take a breath. And then from there, you're going to start to draw that right knee in towards your chest. You might have to come up onto your tippy toes or even boost your hands up onto a couple of books or a block if you have them. And you're just going to take a little stretch in that hamstring now. Should feel kind of nice. As much as possible, try to draw the chest forward toward the big toe so that your lungs are not compressed. Take one more full deep breath in. One more full breath out. Good. And then from there, you just start to drag your right heel back by sitting back towards your left heel. Press the right foot down onto your mat. Your hands are going to plant down like the top of a push-up. Start to lift off your left knee and then hinge that right leg all the way up and back, coming into a three-legged dog. So this three-legged dog is actually more about a stretch in your left hamstring than it is about how high your right leg is going. So just make sure that the left side of the body is as long as the right one. The left heel is getting a little heavier. Stay for 3. Good, that's 2. And then from there, you'll step the right foot forward to the top of your mat again. Take that left knee down. Now for the first one, move really slow. You're gonna inhale, lift both arms up. And then as you exhale, you kind of start to hinge back towards your left heel. Just sit back as far as you can with some stability, which means that you might not be going as far into your flexible range as you're used to. And then you inhale, you come back up. You're gonna exhale, hinge back, and then you're gonna do that 3 more times using your breath. I've kind of hidden a hamstring curl on your back leg in this lunge series. So exhale, so you might find that the back of that back leg starts to get a little warm. Round 4, hinge back. Last one, breathe in. Good, and then breathe out. And then from there, set the hands back down. Take the knees back side by side. Inhale yourself forward into a cow. And then exhale yourself back into a cat. 2 more times on your own. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right over 6, 7, 8, 9. Good, stay. I've certainly got a little one. And then your left foot's gonna come forward in between the thumbs, and you're gonna find just as much or as little hamstring stretch as feels good on your body here. You'll notice my left knee is very, very bent. I have a recurring hamstring injury up near the insertion point that has been threatening me a little bit lately. So this is where I modify. If you ask if that hurts my ego a little bit, yeah, it sure does. But this is part of the practice as well. It's not all a physical thing. From there, start to sit back towards your right heel, set your left foot down onto your mat, and then you're gonna boost that left leg all the way up and back into a bit of a 3-legged downward dog where you're concentrating actually on the foot that's down more than anything. Right heel starts to press down. Tendency here is for like the right armpit to lower and the left armpit to lift and the right hip to dump forward like I'm demoing right here. I want you to see where you can lower the left armpit down, lift the right armpit up, and send that right hip back in space again. From there, the left foot comes forward between the thumbs. You'll take the right knee down. Inhale, lift both arms. Slow for the first one, start to hinge back, reach forward. Good, keep your gaze nice and steady. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, start to curl back. Good, inhale up. You can get as fancy as you like with the arms. Exhale back, back leg's starting to get a little warm here. One more time, come up. Good, and then back. Hands will come down, knees will go back side by side. From there, start to walk your hands back toward your knees, boost yourself up onto your feet. Take a nice little dangle over top of the legs. It's possible that this is gonna feel a little more intense than you might be used to because of the hamstring strengthening exercises you did before you got here. So just be aware that it could be a little more intense. Stay for 3. See if you can breathe the intensity of that tension out for 2. Good stuff. And then you start to walk the hands forward. You're going to come into a plank pose. Planks like tabletops are done with hands below shoulders. They're pushed into the floor like the top of a push-up, so the shoulder blades are almost spreading away from one another. Your heels would press into an imaginary wall behind you. You're going to feel your quads really start to wrap around the thigh bones and lift the thigh bones up. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, I'm going to have you slowly lower all the way down to your mat. Good. So just untuck your toes, stack your palms, place your forehead down onto the backs of your hands, and let your shoulders be really nice and easy. Really point those left toes back, and then you're going to lift that right leg up, but as much as possible without turning the right hip up, which means the right hip crease should still be facing down. Then you'll pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Stay. Keep pointing the left toes back, grounding left side. Take that right leg down, and then point the right toes back, lift the left side, and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Stay. Good. Take it back down. From there, you're going to walk your hands back to about your low ribs. Pull your shoulder blade tops of both feet into the mat. Inhale and lift your head, neck, chest. Mind where your shoulders have gone. You're not compressing the neck vertebrae. They're staying down. And then lift both legs. Breathe here for 3. For 2. Good. Slowly start to make your way back down. From there, you'll bend both knees, push all the way up to the top of a push-up, and then hinge yourself back into a child's pose. Hold. 3, 2. Awesome. And then you'll hinge forward, coming into table. Tuck the toes under, lift your seat bones up and back, taking your first downward dog of this practice. You can feel free to pedal out your feet. Maybe rock your hips a little from side to side, shake your head, yes or no. Move in any way that helps you to release tension, opens up the body. It just feels generally good. Take one more full breath cycle here. And then you come up onto the tippy toes, look forward in between the thumbs. Load your seat bones back towards your heels by bending your knees, and then step or hop to where you're looking. Your chest will lift on an inhale, and then you'll fold in on the exhale. Arms will lift on an inhale, and then hands will either come down in front of the heart or all the way down by the sides on the exhale. Lift the arms up on a breath in. Fold in. On your breath out, drop your gaze. Lift your chest forward, long spine on the breath in. As you exhale, plant the hands down. Keep the elbows straight. The knees will bend to send you back to plank. You can lower all the way to the mat again and maybe take that locust back bend that we've already done. Or if you want to work with chaturanga, keep pushing the floor away from you. Keep pressing the heels back. It's a slow lower. Shoulders stay about as high as elbows. You flip to the top of the feet. And you push all the way back up to the top of the push-up with the arms, lifting the back of the heart space, coming up off the knees and thighs at the back by pressing into the tops of your feet, and then lifting up and over toes for downward dog. Stay here for 1. Continuing to breathe in and out for 2. Keeping your focus on the entire inhale, the entire exhale, 4. Good. And then when you feel ready, looking forward between the hands, coming to tippy toes, loading springs, and stepping or hopping to where you're looking. Chest will lift, inhale. And then as you exhale, fold in. Lift the arms, inhale. And then we'll take the hands to the heart, exhale. Good. So one more time, breathe in, lift arms. We're just going to move back to downward dog. Exhale, fold in. Next inhale, lifts chest. Next exhale takes the hands down, step or hop back to a plank. You can lower through chaturanga or to the floor. Upward dog comes onto the tops of the feet, lifts off knees and thighs. Back to downward dog. Good. Take a nice deep breath in where you are. Then a big sigh. You're going to lift the right leg up. But again, I want you to try not to lift the right leg with the outer right hip. Keep it honest. Keep the right hip crease facing down. Bend into that right knee just like you did in a tabletop. Now pulse that right heel a little higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thinking about lifting from inner thigh. 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Stay. A little bit of a Charlie horse. Right foot's going to step forward in between the thumbs this time, and then I'm going to have you hinge your weight back towards your left heel. Give that front leg a bit of a stretch. The tendency is for the tailbone to wag out to the right. So see where you can just wag that over to the left a little. Making sure that it's pointing straight back. Stay for 3. It's 2. Awesome. So from there, you're going to bend back into your right knee. Take your left heel fully down onto your mat. We'll lift the left arm up and then the right for warrior 2. You can adjust the stance here where you need to, about a heel to arch alignment, maybe heel to heel, depending on what you like better. When you look forward to your right foot, make sure you're only seeing the right big toe inside the right knee so that the right knee is not collapsing into center. Take a deep breath in where you are. Stay for the exhale. And then you're going to inhale, straighten the leg, lift the arms up, biceps by ears, palms face one another. As you exhale, the hands come back down. You bend back into the right knee. That's 1. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. 2. 3 more. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Last one in. Good. This one stay. And if you want a little more challenge, come up off your right heel. Come up onto the right tippy toes for 3. It's 2. Set that right heel down. The right hand will come down and then the left. Now stay with me. This can be a little confusing. Come up onto your left tippy toes. And then from there, you're going to step onto the right foot. Drag that left knee in behind that right ankle. And then straighten the right leg. Use the tush. Lift the left leg. 1. And then you're going to, again, pull in. Really lift that left leg. 2. And then one more time. Really lift the left leg. Concentrate on the back of the left leg. The hamstring and the tush are doing the lifting here. Over time, the hands will walk forward. The lift of that left leg combined with the push in your hands will be enough to take you up without a hop. Maybe. There we go. It actually happened today. Sometimes it doesn't. Take both feet down at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift your chest forward. As you exhale, you can always take a little bend into the backs of the knees. Peace fingers, the ones you make peace signs with, are going to come inside big toes. Thumbs wrap around the top. The big toes root down. By no means do you have to super pull yourself down over your legs, but create a little bit of tension in your biceps that allows your torso to lengthen and brings the shoulders away from the ears. You're here for another 3. That's 2. Good stuff. Gently start to let go. You can roll up or hinge up to a stand. I like the roll. Kind of makes me feel like a rag doll. Inhale, lift both arms back up. And then you're going to exhale, fold back in. Your chest is going to lift on that inhale. And then as you exhale, the hands will plant. You can step or hop back to plank. And then from there, you choose how to get back to downward dog. I've given you a lot of different ways to go. Your body will make the decision as to which one suits you best at this moment. Okay, same thing other side. Try not to anticipate this side based on what you've already learned. And let go of the other side. It's over now. Left leg's going to lift. We're going to try not to turn the left hip out. Be honest about it. It usually means that the leg needs to come down a little lower. It's okay. Bend the left knee. And then you start to pulse. 1, 2, lifting from inner left thigh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Stay. And then the left foot will step forward in between the thumbs. hinge the weight back toward that right foot. Keep the tailbone pointing back in space by giving it a gentle wag to the right if you need. You can always bend the front leg. The back leg is going to try to stay straight. Try to draw the chest forward so you're not compressing the lungs. You get more of a full deep breath. Good, and then you start to bend into the left knee, really ground into the left heel. Right heel rolls down, right arm comes up, and then left. You're in warrior two. And again, adjust the stance if you need to. Make sure you're in a nice stable spot. And then we're gonna inhale, straighten the knee, lift the arms. And then as you exhale, bend into the knee. Take the arms out to the sides, good. Inhale, then exhale. Inhale again. Then exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Last one. Breathing in. Breathing out, making sure that this back arm is not on vacation, is not way down here, it's still up. And maybe coming off those left tippy toes. Stay. 3 breaths. That's 2. And then the left heel will come down. You'll go left arm down, then right. Come onto your right tippy toes. Drag that right knee forward behind the left ankle, and then extend the left leg, lift that right leg up. 1. And then again. Lower. Keep lifting that right leg. 2. And then lower. And if you're tight through the hamstrings, this bottom leg can totally be bent at the same time as you keep lifting that right leg. From there, if you wanted to try press up to handstand, you start to walk the hands forward. You push down like to the center of the earth. You keep lifting the right leg. You lean, and left leg may rise. You can hear the effort in my voice that comes with this, but it's really about this right leg continuing to reach up. Okay, both feet come down. Take the hands underneath of your feet from the front. Feet are about hip width apart. And again, you don't need to like super pull yourself down. This is a stretch for the hamstring on the other side of the strengthening that we've been doing. Take some breaths for 3. That's 2. Awesome. Take the hands out from underneath of the feet. Now, people don't tend to love this when I put them through it, but it'll keep you pretty honest about where your leg strength is at. So we're gonna move kind of down through Malasana. So you're gonna sit down low, about as low as you can without the knees collapsing in. And then you're gonna inhale, lift all the way back up. That's 1. You're gonna lower, lift 2, and then lower, lift 3, lower, lift 4, squeeze the tush at the top, and then you're gonna lower for 5, but then you're gonna pulse. So you're here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stay. This is where people tend to really hate me. You're lifting up to a count of 5, 4, 3. That's 2. Okay, that's 1. If you felt like you needed to get up a lot faster than that, you got to work on your leg strength a little more. Turn your feet forward. Fold into your legs. Let it be nice and gentle. And then you can plant the hands down. How you come back through plank or chaturanga is your choice. I'll meet you back in downward dog. Good. Taking a really nice deep breath in. Really big breath out. Right leg is going to go up. This time, feel free to turn that right hip out, bend the right knee. Do make sure that you're not dumping into the armpits. However, left armpit rises, right armpit lowers. Now pulse your knee up a little higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stay there, a little fire before your pigeon. Right knee is going to move forward behind right wrist. Left toes will move back in space. Fold forward. This is just meant to be a nice little stretch for the legs after the amount of strengthening that I put them through today. But if this doesn't feel great on your right knee, just come off to the side. You can always do pigeon seated. It looks like this, okay? Chest lifting. Or you can do it lying down. It looks like a figure four stretch, a thread the needle. In case you're like, that's not pigeon, I will show you that if your foot was here and your other leg went out like this is exactly pigeon. It's just upside down without all the pressure on the knee. Take it to a spot that feels right, not one that your mind is saying, it must be this one that feels right. Here for another 3. Another 2. Now this is a super important action when it comes to like pressing up to handstands and stuff. Push all the way to the top of a push-up. Get really used to this action. You tuck the left toes under, you start to lift up through a plank, step the right foot back. You can move through plank and chaturanga if you choose. You could also hinge up and back. I'll leave it with you. When you do land, and then lift your left leg up and back. Bend your left knee. Make sure you're not collapsing into that right armpit. Keep it lifting. Start to pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now stay. And then draw that left knee forward behind left wrist. Again, you've got a couple other options for pigeon if this one is not working. Look back at your right foot. Make sure the right foot is pointing straight back. Sometimes it likes to do this, ouch, sickly thing that just gave me a foot cramp. So you can just make sure it's pointing straight back. And then fold forward. Stay for 5. Full breath in, full breath out for 4. It's 3. It's 2. Because the push action is so important, we're going to do it one more time. Push into the floor like the top of a push-up. Lift yourself up through plank. Either hinge back or move through one final vinyasa. And then once you land in downward dog, you'll take the gaze forward between the thumbs again. You come to the tippy toes. It's a lot like hopping forward to stand, but you cross your ankles in the middle and try to sit down behind your heels. Cool. Roll down onto your back. From there, just gonna have you grab onto the tops of your ankles and just let your leg bones sort of hang freely in the hip sockets. You can let the weight of your legs start to drag on your arms a little bit more, stretching out the muscles in your fingers and your hands and your wrists, your forearms. If happy baby seems appealing to you, then you can go and grab onto the sides of your feet. Start to kick one heel up above one knee, other heel up above the other knee. As much as possible, trying to keep the tailbone really nice and long on your mat, letting your shoulder blades fall nice and heavy. Knees keep creeping toward the floor. Good. Gently draw the feet back into center. And then from there, you'll just take the feet up toward the sky. Let go of the need to have the knees completely straight. This itself could feel like quite a hamstring stretch for you today. You can take your hands onto your thighs. You could take your hands out to the sides. You could stack your arms up above your head. Completely up to you. Go where the body leads you, and then stretch your breath through the entire shape. You're here for another 4, 3, 2. Good. And then you'll just pull your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your forehead up towards your knees. Curl into a teeny tiny little ball. Take a really deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you'll expand down into Shavasana, letting the shoulder blades come in toward one another. Give yourself some space around your armpits to breathe. Take a few moments to make any minor adjustments you feel like you might need to make to really settle in. And then if you're not bound by the time constraint of 30 minutes, then I want you to feel free to just like pause the video and take Shavasana as long as feels right for you, or for as long as you can. Really taking time to really check in, notice where you are, how you feel, be with who you are right now. If you're kind of bound by the time constraint, then I just want 3 more full cycles of breath, inhaling all the way to the top of the collarbones, exhaling all the way down to the pelvic floor. 2 more like that. With the entire focus on the whole breath in and the whole breath out. 1 more. And then you can slowly wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, rock head side to side. Maybe rotate wrists, ankles. Then glue your legs together at the base of your mat. Point through your toes. On your inhale, stretch your fingers as far away from your toes as they'll reach. Take a really nice deep breath in. Big sigh. You can either boost yourself up to a seat, roll to one side, and boost yourself up that way. You can roll up any way that works. We're going to come to any comfortable seat of your choice. Try to keep your focus internalized for as long as you can. Sitting nice and tall, shoulders just pull away from the ears. You can let the hands just fall wherever they want to fall. And we'll take a final deep breath together by clearing the lungs out first. Exhale everything out. Take a really deep breath in. Let that one go all the way. Amazing work. If you ever have any questions about what you flowed through, how you felt flowing through it, get a hold of me on social. It's @anshstands_yoga. I'm always available to support your movement practice. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.